Hello everyone and welcome back to English Listening and Speaking Practice YouTube channel, the channel where we help you learn English and improve your life step by step with simple ideas and easy words. I'm so happy you're here today. In this episode, we're going to talk about something incredibly encouraging and effective: the power of small wins in learning English. How can tiny achievements make a huge difference? Now, maybe you felt this way before. You have a big goal, like speaking English fluently, but this goal feels so far away, so huge, that you sometimes feel overwhelmed or like you're not making any progress. You study for a week, but you still can't understand a whole movie. You try to speak, but you still make mistakes. It's easy to get discouraged. Have you ever felt like that? I know I have when learning new things. That's why understanding small wins is so vital, not just for mastering English, but for achieving anything important in life. If you want to stay motivated, build confidence, and truly enjoy your English journey, you need to see the magic in small victories. Many people focus only on the big final goal. They wait for that massive breakthrough. But guess what? The journey to fluency is made up of many small steps, many little successes. If you ignore these, you miss out on a lot of joy and motivation. So what happens when you feel like the big goal is too far? Do you lose hope? Do you slow down? That's where recognizing and celebrating small wins becomes your secret weapon. Small wins mean acknowledging every little bit of progress, no matter how tiny it seems. It means noticing that you understood a new phrase today, or used a new word correctly, or spoke for 1 minute longer than yesterday. With small wins, you don't wait for the big success to feel good. You find joy in the process. So today, in this episode, we'll look at what exactly are small wins? Why are they so important for learning English? How do small wins boost your motivation and confidence? How can you identify and create small wins in your daily English practice? And how can celebrating these small victories transform your learning experience? By the end of this episode, you'll know how to harness the power of small wins to make your English learning journey more enjoyable, sustainable, and ultimately more successful. You'll feel more empowered and less overwhelmed. So, get ready, my friend. This isn't just about English, it's about building a positive mindset for success. Let's get started. What are small wins? So, let's begin by talking about small wins. What are they? In simple terms, a small win is a small, positive achievement. It's a mini success that shows you're moving forward, even just a little bit. When you're learning English, these small wins can be anything that makes you feel like you've learned or improved something, no matter how minor it seems. It's like finding a small shining coin on your path. It might not be a treasure chest, but it still makes you smile and feel a little richer. When you achieve a small win, you feel a little spark of happiness, a sense of accomplishment. It feels good. It feels like progress. It feels like you are learning. Small wins usually happen when we break down a big task into smaller, manageable pieces. For example, your big goal is to speak English fluently. That's a huge mountain to climb. But what if you set a small goal for today? I will learn 5 new vocabulary words related to food. And you do it. You learn them, you can use them in a sentence. That's a small win. Or maybe you decide to listen to a 2-minute English audio clip and try to understand the main idea. You listen, and you get it. Small win. Perhaps you were brave enough to ask a question in English in an online form, even though you were nervous. Small win. Or you watched a short scene from a TV show without subtitles and understood 60% of it, when last week you only understood 40%. That's a definite small win. Many learners feel these little moments of progress, but they often dismiss them. They think, oh, it's just 5 words, or it was only a short clip. They are waiting for the big aha moment. But these small wins are the building blocks. They are the daily proof that you are getting better. Think about a baby learning to walk. First, they learn to sit, then crawl, then stand up holding on to something, then take one shaky step. Each of these is a small win, celebrated by their parents. They don't just suddenly run a marathon. It's important to understand that small wins are personal. What feels like a small win for one person might be different for another. The key is that you feel a sense of progress. It's a beautiful feeling when you realize, hey, I couldn't do this yesterday, but I can do it today. But here's something important. You need to actively look for and acknowledge these small wins. They don't always shout for attention. Sometimes they are quiet. If you aren't paying attention, you might miss them, and then you might feel like you're not improving. Let's say you're practicing your pronunciation. You struggle with the th sound. You practice for 10 minutes, and by the end, you can say think and thank you a little more clearly. That's a small win. Don't say, I still can't say everything perfectly. Say, I improved my gath sound today. This positive self-talk is powered by recognizing small wins. So yes, small wins are tiny steps forward, little moments of success. They are the evidence that your efforts are paying off. They might seem insignificant on their own, but when you string many small wins together, they create a powerful chain of progress that leads you to your bigger goals. And as we'll see next, they do much more than just mark progress. They fuel your entire learning journey. But before we move on, just remember this. Small wins are not about being perfect. They are about making progress. They are about effort and improvement. Start looking for them in your daily English practice. Write them down if it helps, because these little victories are the secret fuel that can keep your learning engine running day after day. Now that we understand what small wins are, let's talk about why they are so incredibly important for your English learning. Why are small wins so important? Now that we understand what small wins are, let's dive into why they are so powerful, especially when you're on a long journey like learning English. Why should we pay so much attention to these seemingly tiny achievements? The truth is, small wins are the secret ingredient to staying motivated, building confidence, and actually enjoying the learning process. First, small wins boost your motivation. Think about it. When you feel like you're achieving something, even something small, it makes you want to continue. It's like a little reward that your brain loves. Each small win releases a bit of dopamine, a chemical in your brain that makes you feel good and want to repeat the action. So if you learn a new phrase and use it successfully, you feel good, and you're more likely to want to learn another phrase tomorrow. This creates a positive cycle. Achieve a small win. Feel good. Want to do more. Achieve another small win. This is much more effective than waiting for one huge success that might take months or years. Second, small wins build your confidence. Learning a new language can be intimidating. You might worry about making mistakes or not being understood, but every time you have a small win, like understanding a difficult sentence or successfully ordering coffee in English, it chips away at that fear. It tells your brain, hey, I can do this. As these small wins add up, your belief in your ability to learn English grows stronger. You start to see yourself as someone who is capable of learning, someone who is making progress. This confidence is crucial because it encourages you to take more risks, like trying to speak more often or tackling more challenging materials. Third, small wins fight overwhelm and prevent burnout. Big goals like become fluent in English can feel overwhelming. If you only focus on the end goal, the journey can seem endless and exhausting. This can lead to burnout, where you just feel too tired and discouraged to continue. Small wins break down that huge goal into manageable steps. Instead of climbing a giant mountain in one go, you're taking one step at a time, celebrating each little bit of ground you cover. This makes the journey feel less daunting and more achievable. It keeps you engaged without draining all your energy. Fourth, small wins create momentum. Imagine trying to push a heavy car. Getting it started is the hardest part, but once it starts rolling, it gets easier to keep it moving. Small wins are like those initial pushes. Each one adds a little bit of momentum. When you string together a series of small wins, you build up speed. It becomes easier to study the next day and the day after that because you're already rolling. This momentum is powerful because it helps you overcome laziness or procrastination. Fifth, small wins help you form good habits. When you consistently achieve small wins by, for example, studying for 15 minutes every day, that action starts to become a habit. You're training your brain to expect that study time. And because these sessions are linked to the positive feelings of small wins, the habit becomes something you look forward to, or at least don't resist as much. Strong habits are the backbone of long-term success in language learning. Let's imagine a student, Sarah. She wants to improve her English listening. Her big goal is to understand native speakers in movies. She starts by listening to a 1-minute audio designed for learners. She understands most of it. Small win. The next day, she listens to a 2-minute audio. A bit harder, but she gets the main idea. Another small win. She keeps doing this, gradually increasing the difficulty. Each step is a small win. After a few months, she tries a short scene from a movie and is surprised she can follow along much better. Her confidence is up, her motivation is high, and she has built a habit of daily listening practice, all thanks to those small, consistent wins. So you see, small wins are not just little footnotes in your learning journey. They are the engine. They provide the fuel, motivation, build the vehicle, confidence, clear the path, fight overwhelm, get you moving, create momentum, and pave the road. Form habits. Don't underestimate their power. Start noticing them, celebrating them, and using them to make your English learning journey a successful and enjoyable one. Small wins versus big goals. Understanding the connection. Now that we know what small wins are and why they are so important, let's explore how they relate to your bigger English learning goals. Sometimes people think focusing on small wins means forgetting about the big picture. But that's not true at all. In fact, small wins and big goals are partners. They work together to help you succeed. Think of your big goal, like speaking English fluently, getting a high score on an English exam, or being able to confidently use English at work, as your ultimate destination. It's the mountain, peak you want to reach. It's inspiring, it's exciting, and it gives you direction. Without a big goal, you might wander aimlessly. So, big goals are very important for vision and long-term direction. Now, think of small wins as the individual steps you take on the path to that mountain peak. Each step might seem tiny on its own. One step won't get you to the top. But without taking those individual steps, you'll never reach the summit. Small wins are the daily and weekly progress markers that show you're on the right track and moving closer to your big goal. The connection is this. Big goals provide the why and the where, while small wins provide the how and the now. Your big goal gives you the reason to start and tells you where you're headed. Small wins are the actions you take today, the small achievements you make right now that build up over time to achieve that big goal. Let's take an example. your big goal is, I want to have a 30-minute conversation in English confidently. That's a great goal, but you can't achieve it overnight. So you break it down. Your small wins along the way might be: Week 1. Learn and practice 20 common conversational phrases. Small win when achieved. Week 2. Have a 5-minute chat with a language partner using those phrases. Small win. Week 3. Watch a 10-minute dialogue and note down new expressions. Small win. Week 4. Try to speak for 7 minutes, focusing on using those new expressions. Small win. Each of these small wins contributes directly to your big goal. They are not random activities, they are strategic steps. When you achieve each small win, you get a boost of motivation and confidence, as we discussed. This makes you more likely to continue working towards the next small win, and ultimately, towards your big goal. Another way to see it, a big goal can sometimes feel overwhelming. It's like looking at a massive, empty jigsaw puzzle box. Where do you even start? Small wins are like finding 2 pieces that fit together, then another 2. Suddenly, you have a small section completed. This makes the whole puzzle seem less daunting and more achievable. It's also important that your small wins are aligned with your big goals. If your big goal is to improve your writing, then small wins like writing 3 grammatically correct sentences today, or learning 5 new academic words, are relevant. If your goal is listening, then understanding a 5-minute podcast segment is a relevant small win. This ensures that your daily efforts are purposeful and contributing to what you ultimately want to achieve. So don't see big goals and small wins as separate things. See them as a team. Your big goal is the captain, setting the direction. Your small wins are the hard-working crew members, making sure the ship moves forward every single day. You need both. Without the big goal, your small wins might lack direction. Without the small wins, your big goal might remain just a distant dream. By focusing on achieving small, daily or weekly wins that are connected to your larger English learning ambitions, you create a sustainable and rewarding path to success. You're not just dreaming about the destination, you're actively enjoying the journey, one small, victorious step at a time. How small wins keep you going. We've talked about what small wins are and why they're important. Now, let's look a little deeper into the psychology of how these little victories keep you on track, especially when learning English gets tough. It's all about how our brains respond to progress and achievement. The main reason small wins are so effective is because they tap into our brain's reward system. When you achieve something, even something minor, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good neurotransmitter. It's associated with pleasure, motivation, and learning. So when you successfully understand a new English word or manage to form a correct sentence, that little burst of dopamine makes you feel good. This positive feeling reinforces the behavior, making you want to do it again to get another hit of dopamine. It's a natural, healthy way to build motivation from within. Think about playing a video game. Games are often designed around small wins. You complete a small task. You get points. You find a hidden item. You unlock an achievement. These little rewards keep you playing, keep you engaged, even when the game is challenging. Learning English can be like that if you focus on your small wins. Each one is like leveling up in your own language learning game. Another way small wins keep you going is by building self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is your belief in your own ability to succeed in specific situations or accomplish a task. When you consistently achieve small wins, you start to believe more and more that you can learn English. You think, I managed to do that, so I can probably manage the next step too. This belief is incredibly powerful. When you have high self-efficacy, you're more likely to set challenging goals, put in more effort, and persist longer in the face of difficulties. If you make a mistake instead of thinking, "I'm bad at English," you're more likely to think, "Okay, that didn't work. Let me try a different way. I've overcome challenges before." Small wins also make the learning process more enjoyable and less like a chore. If your only focus is a distant, difficult goal, studying can feel like hard, unrewarding work. But if you're regularly acknowledging and celebrating small successes, the journey itself becomes more fun. You're not just slogging through, you're collecting little trophies along the way. This positive association with learning makes you more likely to stick with it. You start to look forward to your study time because you know it will likely bring some small satisfaction. Furthermore, small wins help you track real progress. Sometimes, when you're deep in the learning process, it's hard to see how far you've come. You might feel like you're stuck. But if you're actively identifying your small wins, maybe even writing them down in a journal, you create a tangible record of your improvement. Looking back at your list of small wins from a week or a month ago can be incredibly motivating. You'll realize, wow, I couldn't do that then, but now it's easy. This clear evidence of progress refuels your determination. Let's consider a learner, Alex, who finds speaking English very stressful. His big goal is to speak fluently. He starts with a very small win, saying hello and thank you to a shopkeeper in English. He does it. His heart is pounding, but he gets a smile in return. That's a small win, a tiny dopamine hit, a small boost in self-efficacy. Next, he aims to ask for the price of an item. He practices, he does it. Another small win. He continues, setting these tiny, achievable speaking goals. Each success, no matter how small, makes the next attempt a little less scary and a little more appealing. These small wins are literally rewiring his brain to associate speaking English with positive experiences, keeping him going on a path that once felt too daunting. So, the power of small wins is deeply rooted in how our brains work. They provide consistent positive reinforcement, build our belief in ourselves, make the process enjoyable, and give us clear proof of our progress. That's how they keep you going, day after day, step after step, towards your English fluency. Real life tips to create and celebrate small wins. Now that we're convinced of the power of small wins, the big question is, how can we actively create and celebrate them in our daily English learning journey? It's not just about waiting for them to happen. It's about setting ourselves up for these little victories. Here are some simple, practical tips you can start using today. Break down your big goals. This is the most crucial step. Take your large English learning goal, e.g., understand English movies, and break it into much smaller, manageable tasks. For example, big goal, understand English movies. Smaller task, understand a 5-minute movie clip with subtitles. Even smaller task, daily, when understand 5 new vocabulary words from that clip, or understand 1 key scene's dialogue. When you achieve that tiny part, that's your small win. Set daily or weekly mini targets. Don't just have vague intentions. Decide specifically what small thing you want to achieve each day or week. For example, today I will listen to 1 5-minute English podcast. This week, I will learn 10 new idioms and try to use 2 of them. Today, I will speak in English for 3 minutes about my day, even if it's just to myself. These specific, small targets are your potential small wins. Track your progress. Keep a record of what you're doing. This could be a simple notebook, a digital document, or a language learning app. When you complete a mini target, mark it off. For example, write down the new words you learned each day, Put a check mark next to each completed lesson. Keep a log of how many minutes you practiced speaking. Seeing this visual record of your efforts and achievements is a powerful way to recognize your small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate. Really. This is key. When you achieve a small target, don't just rush to the next thing. Pause for a moment and acknowledge it. Tell yourself, "Well done," or "I did it." This doesn't have to be a big party. Celebration can be simple. Give yourself a mental pat on the back. Allow yourself a 5-minute break to do something you enjoy. Tell a friend or family member about your small success. Put a sticker on your calendar. The act of celebration reinforces the positive feeling and makes the win more memorable. Focus on effort, not just outcomes. Sometimes a small win isn't about perfectly achieving something, but about putting in the effort. For example, maybe you tried to have a conversation in English and it was difficult and you made mistakes. But you tried. You pushed past your comfort zone. That effort is a win in itself. Recognize and appreciate your courage and persistence. Review your wins regularly. At the end of each week, take a few minutes to look back at all the small wins you've achieved. You'll often be surprised at how much you've accomplished. This weekly review can be a huge motivator and helps you see the bigger picture of your progress. Use "I did" statements. Instead of focusing on what you didn't do, focus on what you did. Instead of "I still can't understand everything," try "Today I understood 3 new phrases." Instead of "I only studied for 10 minutes," try "I managed to study for 10 minutes today, even though I was busy." This reframing helps you see the positive. Let's apply this. Say you want to improve your English writing. Big goal. Write a clear, well-structured essay. Mini target for today. Write 1 good paragraph with a clear topic sentence and 3 supporting details. Tracking. You write it in your notebook. Acknowledge and celebrate. You read it aloud, feel good about it, and tell yourself, "That's a solid paragraph." Maybe you treat yourself to a cup of tea. Effort. Even if it took you longer than expected, acknowledge the effort you put into crafting it. By actively creating opportunities for small wins and taking the time to celebrate them, you transform your learning from a daunting task into an enjoyable journey filled with little moments of success. You are building a positive feedback loop that will keep you motivated and moving forward, one small, powerful win at a time. Final thoughts. As we come to the end of this episode, let's bring together the main ideas about the power of small wins. Learning English, or achieving any significant goal, is a marathon, not a sprint. It's easy to feel overwhelmed or lose motivation along the way if you only focus on the distant finish line. We've learned that small wins are those little achievements, those tiny steps of progress that happen every day if we look for them. They are the proof that we are moving forward. We discussed how incredibly important these small wins are. They boost our motivation by giving us those feel-good dopamine hits. They build our confidence by showing us we can succeed. They fight overwhelm by breaking big goals into manageable pieces. They create momentum that keeps us going, and they help us form positive learning habits. We also saw the vital connection between small wins and big goals. Big goals give us direction, but small wins are the fuel and the steps that get us there. They are partners in our journey to success. And we explored how small wins keep us going by tapping into our brain's reward system, building our self-belief, making the process enjoyable, and providing tangible evidence of our progress. Finally, we looked at practical tips to create and celebrate these small victories, breaking down goals, setting mini targets, tracking progress, truly acknowledging our achievements, focusing on effort, and reviewing our wins. So my encouragement to you today is this. Start noticing and celebrating your small wins. Don't wait for perfection. Don't wait until you're fluent to feel proud of yourself. Your English learning journey is happening now, with every new word you learn, every sentence you understand, every time you bravely try to speak. These are all valuable. If you take one thing away from this episode, let it be this. The secret to staying motivated and achieving your big English dreams lies in the power of appreciating your small daily efforts and successes. Each small win is like a little light that illuminates your path and makes the journey brighter. So as you finish listening, think about one small English-related win you can aim for today or this week. Maybe it's learning 3 new phrases. Maybe it's watching a 2-minute video in English. Maybe it's just saying good morning to someone in English. Whatever it is, make it small, make it achievable, and when you do it, give yourself credit. Remember, progress is progress, no matter how small. These little victories add up over time to create big transformations. Embrace the power of small wins, and you'll find your English learning journey becomes not only more effective, but also much more joyful. You can do this, one small win at a time. I hope you've learned something valuable about the power of small wins and how they can supercharge your English learning. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me today. I hope you feel inspired to look for and celebrate those little victories in your daily life and studies. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to listen again anytime you need a reminder of how capable you are. Also, if you found this podcast helpful, please share it with a friend who might be feeling overwhelmed and could use this encouragement. The more people we can help build a positive learning mindset, the better. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What small win are you aiming for this week? Leave a comment or feedback to let me know. Your experiences and feedback are really important and help me create content that truly helps you. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'm excited for you to continue your journey towards English fluency, celebrating every small step. Keep looking for those wins, keep practicing, and remember, you've got this. Until next time, take care, and see you in the next episode.